I allowed my ego to take over. For a moment, I was loving the attention. I was loving the energy that the people were giving me. Like I was really loving it. And I realized that I was answering the questions from a place of, oh, I'm the best. I'm 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 so good. And I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Hey there. Hi, hi, hi. I am Trish or Patri, depending on where in the world we meet. But officially, it's Patricia, which means noble. Nope, I don't come from royalty, but I live and lead with integrity. This is Into the Woods of Faith and Entrepreneurship, where getting lost is the first step to being found. Welcome if you're here for the first time. A warm welcome to you. If you're coming back, welcome back. I am joining today from a beautiful park here in Madrid. It's a lovely day. The sun is just shining right there, but the branches of this beautiful, beautiful big tree, they're covering me. So I get a little bit of a shade here. So let's get started. That's what's great about being in nature, right? Like you are just so present and lots of things are happening that are out of your control, and you just kind of learn how to hold all of them, right? I love it. Okay, let's get started. Today's reflection is very close to my heart, and I know it is very present because it's such a human experience. I think that all of us, in some way, shape, or form, experience this, if not consciously, maybe unconsciously. And so I'd like to call this reflection, and I'm going to say it slowly so I don't ramble in here, because I think this is really powerful, and I'll let you take it for a minute. This reflection is called Ego Driven, God Given. Let me say that one more time. It just has a special meaning on it. Oh, come on. You see the flies? They're just all around me today. Come on, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. Let me say that one more time. Ego driven, God given. This is going to be juicy, isn't it? So let me begin this reflection by sharing an experience with you that came up for me not very long ago. So I was positioned in front of a group of people, some consultants and coaches that are moving in the, let's say, sustainability space. Some of them are much more senior than I am. And I'm not talking about age, although I'm also talking about that, but I'm referring to the years of experience. And some of them were early in their careers. And my role in that gathering was to facilitate knowledge sharing. And so it was an in-person gathering. So it happened in Spain, in Madrid. Obviously, I was organizing everything. I remember choosing this very nice kind of artsy, kind of jazzy artsy venue. And there were, I would say, about not more than 25 people in this space. So it was private. It was just us. We had 2.5 hours of knowledge sharing, and everything went well. Everyone said that they really appreciated the time that we all spent together. I think, these days, a lot of people are longing for that in-person engagement. Yeah, you know, and me too. I've been really longing for some in-person engagement. I know, the online has its ability to just reach people. The online space, I mean, like this thing right here, it has the ability to reach people who may not be within my reach, right? That's the beauty of it. But there's something about an in-person gathering, right? And so after the 2.5 gathering, everyone stayed for some tapas and some drinks because the place is just super cool and super nice. The weather was great. Um, and everyone just, started to feel connected with one another. And so we stayed, we were talking, chatting about different things here and there. And then there was this one lady who came up to me, and she was just like, Trish, how long have you been in the coaching industry? So, we exchanged a bit of information. And I was like, about 5 years. At the time, it was about 5 years. And then she was like, if you were to begin again from nothing, how would you start? And I was like, huh. I can see that she was coming from a place of like curiosity, and she really wanted to know, because I think that, she's early in her path in the coaching industry. I remember she shared she is pursuing career coaching. Oh, did you just hear the bird kind of tweet beautifully? Hello. I can get distracted. I apologize. My attention can be quickly diverted, but I come back in here, and that's the beauty of being raw and present and real. And nothing here is scripted, by the way. I don't have anything in front of me except a water tumbler, this thing, in case something comes and I can shoo it away. I don't have a fly swatter. I would love to have a fly swatter. But for now, let's improvise. So this is what this is for. If you're seeing this video, you can see I'm kind of making like a fan-like motion to create this air. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So let's go back to the reflection. So I can see that she was really curious. So it was just the two of us in the beginning, and then people started to join the conversation some more. So from 2, we went to 3, to 4, to 5, and all of a sudden, like, it feels like everyone in the room was listening. You know what I mean? Like, I guess it was such, as she was really asking beautiful questions that I think even the more senior ones could really relate to, and her questions resonate with them and are present for them as well. So everyone started talking about the business side of coaching, and they were asking me, so how much should you charge if this is this, if this is that? Someone was asking, where do you find your clients? Like, how is your experience on LinkedIn? Like, what's the strategy that you do? Do you have a funnel? Like, how do you do these things? And I was like, I was so happy to share and to answer the questions. When someone is curious, you're just like, hey, let me answer you the best way that I can. Not long after, I realized even the senior ones who are like getting paid by huge corporations started to chime in and ask questions. You can imagine, right? So we were in this beautiful artsy jazzy place, books on the left side, some like, I don't know, gothic ornaments on the other side. There was food, there was drinks in the middle. There were about 20 people already at that time. Some left. People from across cultures and backgrounds, senior, early in their career. You'll see Europeans, you'll see Asians. And it was just a beautiful space that we were holding together. Obviously, they were coaches and facilitators and consultants. So it's very easy to kind of just hold this space together with them. It was so beautiful and magical. 2.5 hours had gone by like this. And we were like, what? We wanted to stay more. After that, Fast forward to the end of the night. So we probably stayed an hour and a half more to get to know one another. People started exchanging LinkedIn's and numbers. It's very, very nice to be in an in-person gathering where people are kind and open and curious and yeah, you know what I mean. So fast forward to after that event, there's just some flies. So let me use this thing. No, please give me a break. Okay. Fast forward to the end of the event. So we were all saying goodbye. I stepped out of the venue and immediately I felt this, how would I describe it? It was an uneasy feeling. Like it was like a kind of like a bowl that was in my stomach, and then I felt like suddenly it was in my throat. Like I couldn't explain what I was feeling. Also, I was tired. Like after maybe 3.5 full hours of just being around people exchanging energy, I was tired. I was exhausted. So it's like, maybe I'm just tired, let me just go home and see what this is about. And so I got home, and then my husband was like, "Hey, what's up with you? How was the event?" I was like, "It was good. You don't look so happy about it." And normally, like, I really like in-person engagements. I thrive in it. I enjoy it so much. And so my husband was like, "You didn't look like you had fun. What's up?" And I was like, "No, I'm just so tired. Like, I'm really just so tired." And he was like, "Yeah, okay." And that was maybe around 10:30 in the evening. So I was like, "Okay, let me sleep, and then we'll talk tomorrow." And so the next day we were having breakfast. And he was asking me about, how everything went and all. And this is when I realized what the uneasy feeling was. I realized that I stepped out of that venue feeling uneasy and a little bit of a frustration, because for a moment I allowed my ego to take over. And this is I'm sharing this with you right now because I know that the theme of ego, sometimes it can really get the best of us and bring the worst in us. You know what I mean? I'm sure you know what I mean. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had that experience where you're just like, "Oh gosh, like that was my ego talking. That wasn't me. Like that's not me," And so he was like, "What do you mean, ego? Like what happened?" So I said, after the formal gathering, we stayed for like an hour and a half more to chat and get to know, one another on a more casual note. And then just people started to ask me questions, and I just started to answer them. I realized that moment where I was kind of like put in the spotlight, portraying a persona of someone who's had it all, or who has it all, past and present, portraying a persona of someone who's figured it all out and who has this amazing online coaching business. I realized that I liked the feeling. And I'm just going to be real. Like, I'm not even going to sugarcoat anything here. For a moment, I was like, I was loving the attention. I was loving the energy that the people were giving me. Like, I was really loving it. And I realized that I was answering the questions from a place of, "Oh, I'm the best. I'm 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 so good. And I'm laughing because I'm like, oh, that's not what I wanted. I realized it wasn't coming from a place of service, like of real care and concern. Like it wasn't coming from that place. I knew it because my body knows it. The moment I stepped out of that venue, I was feeling a piece of crap. And the body can't lie. And I'm like, why? I was like, no, I don't like that. I hate it. Like, if there's anything that I want, it's for the ego not to be fed. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever been in that situation where you're just like, you're so careful? The thing that you're so careful about, the thing that you put the most attention into, being considerate and kind and careful not to let that out, all of a sudden in a snap, it just comes out. And yeah, the thing is, this is really interesting, right? Ego is such a present theme in my life that I just feel it. When other people speak to me, I really don't appreciate it when I sense that it's their ego talking to me, not them. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. And so for a moment, I became that person that I hated most, that I don't appreciate the most. I became that person. And so I felt so frustrated. I felt like a piece of crap. That's how I felt. And in that breakfast table, I was talking to my husband. I was in tears for a moment. I was just like, I don't like this feeling. This is not me. Why did that happen? I didn't want that to happen. Like, why did that happen? I don't like it. So, I started just ranting and letting it out. And he was like, I think you're being too hard on yourself. And I was like, maybe I am, because that's not me. I don't want to understand where that is coming from. And, I spent some more time diving deep into that experience and why that happened and reflecting on it. And what came up for me is this, and this is what, I want to share with you in case you find yourself in a situation of doing things you don't really want to do, or being someone that you're not, or suddenly shifting something without knowing, or unintentional or unconscious. And here's what I want to share with you, a profound insight that I got from that experience. And I think if it weren't for that experience, I wouldn't have realized it, and the message would not have landed to me deeply, And I feel like that needed to happen so that God can show me that I am human, that I will make mistakes, that I will be someone who I don't want to be, that I will do something that is not from my heart, that I will be caught in situations where I will make mistakes and I'm not going to like it, and I'm going to hate it, and I'm going to regret it, because I am human and that I need God. He allowed for that experience to happen to me so that I could have this knowing from within that I am nothing without God. I am nothing without God, and that's just the truth of things. I have what I have because it has been given to me, and therefore I cannot boast. I cannot take pride in that. It has been given to me. I have it because it has been given to me. And I realized that if I intentionally make space for God to be with me in every gathering I step into, in every coaching session, in every consult, in every kind of engagement, whether work or life, business or not, in any kind of engagement that I step into, if I make space for God to be with me, that ego would not be there, because it would be the Holy Spirit moving through me. And that experience showed me that. And looking back, I was like, that's right. I took things into my own hands. Like, I was like, I'm so good, I can do this. Like, that is not moving by faith, is it? That's moving by my own might, by my own intellectual wisdom, by my own knowing. And the truth is, all of that is limited. My mind is limited. What I know now is limited. But if I allow myself to move by faith, that limitation becomes unlimited. Do you know what I mean? And so I think this is such a powerful reflection, not just because it's something that I have gone through, but I know that in our world today, we can feel it, don't we? Like, let's not lie. Everywhere we look, TV, media, songs, artists, like, we are, and I'm just going to say it as brutal as I can and as frank as I can. I'm not even going to sugarcoat anything. We are dominated and governed by ego-driven people. And I don't want to be that. I want to make a difference. And I know that you too, you want to make a difference. You do want to be different. You do want to be the source of positive impact. You do want to help people from a place of care and concern. I'm coming towards the end of this reflection. But I want to leave you with a framework, which I call AYA. A-I-A. AYA. This framework I use for everything, really, for when I want to understand something and when I want to learn it, not just with my head, but with my heart, and take action. So for example, in this theme of, being driven by my ego, and I want to come back to, being God-led, not ego-led, here's how I would use that framework. A, attention. So where is my attention at the moment? Where's your attention at the moment, actually? Maybe you are dealing with something like this, where your ego's just showing up and you don't want it to show up. Sit for a moment and really think about where your attention is right now. Which area is most present for you? Where's your energy? Where's your focus? Where's your attention at? Is it on yourself? Is it on the person in front of you? Is it in the clouds? Where is it? And what is it telling you? For me, I knew that my attention was myself. My attention was, I was so caught up in my own self answering their questions because I wanted to prove something. I wanted to be something. So clearly the attention is in myself. I, for intention. Let's set intention. So now that you're aware and now that you have your attention on where it is, set an intention. Ask yourself why that is. Why are you feeling this? Why is this happening? What would you like to happen instead? What must happen instead? For me, my intention was I don't want that. I don't want my attention to be in myself. I want to give my attention to others, not to myself. And my intention is to be of service. That is my real intention, to be of service. And what does that mean? What does that sound? What does it feel like? Service. I have to define that for myself. That's the intention I'm putting in here. And the last one, A, take action. So for me, the action that I took is that I wrote down what was that thing that happened. And then I wrote, what could have I done better, or what could have I done differently? And then I said, okay, next time I'm going to be in a gathering like this, and then the next time that this happens, because it may happen, people are just generally curious, and I've built an online coaching business that works, and so they want to know what it is. And so the next time that happens, I will take a breath. Actually, even before that happens, in the beginning, I will take a breath, feel into it, slow down, remember my intention. And when that time comes, I will pause every time I want to just speak. I will pause first, remember my intention. I want to come from a place of service. I want to be of service. I will remember. Pause. If I want to speak right away, which I have the tendency to, like if someone asks me a question, I'm like, pishing. So I will pause, close my eyes, remember my intention, answer the question that comes my way. That's how I use this framework, Aya. And I'm curious how you're going to use it in your area of ego-driven kind of activity at the moment. Remember, pay attention, set intention, take action. Aya, AIA. I'm going to leave you with that for now. And I pray that this podcast blesses you, encourages you. And actually, what I would hope for this podcast to be is a source of light, a source of inspiration to also reflect on what is it that's saying hello to your ego. Thank you for being here. It's been a great time sharing with you this reflection. The sun is shining in this area right now, and the sprinklers are on. So it's time for me to pause, and I'll catch you later. Have a great, amazing, blessed day. Ciao.